Oftentimes, airports mean go, go, go. So with this video, we'll try and do the same by jetting you into a brief look into airport chapels all before your next takeoff. My name is David. Welcome to church visit number 27 of 52 churches in 52 weeks, round 3. We are beginning liftoff for the second half of this round. So if you're new, this channel, we take a look at a wide variety of churches. This round especially, we're taking more of a look into historical churches, also sharing my own spiritual journey. And we always try and do, every once in a while, a fun church visit that I think this one qualifies as. But before I get into the video, as always, we're doing a fundraiser with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for this round. Any type of donations help with families who are in need. So far we've raised $19,000 as of this recording. Our goal is to hit $52,000 by the final church visit. So again, for all those that have donated or said prayers or done anything, want to say thank you very much. During this current round, I've been doing a lot more flying just because it's been much more convenient. And over this past summer, I had plans to fly out of Chicago's Midway International Airport. There's one problem though. Myself, along with tens of thousands of other people, happened to be flying the morning of the global CrowdStrike IT outage. So what it sounds like is there was a faulty security update and it resulted in 8.5 million Microsoft systems to crash worldwide. So it sounds like this was the largest IT outage in history. I even saw some pictures, and I don't know if it's a joke or not, where some people had a smart fridge and the error message came up for them and they couldn't even get in their own fridge. Again, I don't know if that was a joke or not, but it was just weird to see that. But fortunately for me, my flight wasn't canceled, but as a result, they had to do and board everyone manually, and that took a number of hours to get figured out. After getting through TSA, I was walking through Midway, just kind of waiting as they got everything ironed out. And I overheard their public address system announce a Protestant chapel service would be held. So my rescheduled flight didn't allow me to stay around for the entire 30-minute chapel service. I will say it's a little odd to walk into a worship center with your laptop bag and your carry-on bag. Just with the luggage involved, it was a little bit different. So the chaplain started things off with a bit of a history lesson. So he mentioned that the chapel was a part of something called the Skyward Ministries. This is a ministry of the Chicago-based Moody Church. And if you watched my last season of 52 Churches in 52 Weeks, I actually did a visit at the Moody Church for week 30. So if you want to see how this church operates and what it's all about, I'll put a link in the description box below. So he mentioned the chapel is interfaith. And what they usually have is they have 3 Protestant services a day, Monday through Friday, with a full-time chaplain. So there's nothing on Saturdays, but on Sundays, they have the Protestant service, followed by a Catholic Mass, followed by another Protestant service, followed by a Catholic Mass. They also have an Islamic representation. There's no services, but they do have some prayer rugs. And then there's a compass on the ceiling. So with that compass, it allows individuals to know in which direction to pray. So he mentioned the airport had been kind enough to rent them this space for the past 36 years. They just bought all the furniture and then they pay rent. So we started off by singing a hymn, How Great Thou Art. And then he also mentioned that he wanted us to leave with 3 basic reminders. 1, Jesus loves you. 2, Jesus wants to form a relationship with you. And then 3, he has something beautiful planned for your life. Then he asked everyone for a praise. And I don't hear this too often in churches. The only other example that I've come across this was at a church service with the Salvation Army. So one person that was in the congregation mentioned that he was flying out to California for an engagement. So that was his praise. From there, he also mentioned some of the notable visitors that had visited. He mentioned there was a Pittsburgh Steelers NFL player. He also mentioned a Christian singer by the name of Rebecca St. James. So apparently she is this very famous singer So she actually gave some CDs to people that had been apart when she spent her time there. He also mentioned there was a gentleman from the Wall Street Journal who had, he must have had like some kind of lapel pin or something on, and he actually wrote a piece about airport chapels after attending this. So I had to take off early to board my flight, but upon leaving, I was very curious to learn more about airport chapels, and it got me thinking too, because like with the amount of foot traffic that go through airports, it's like, why wouldn't you want to have a chapel inside, especially for those that may be waiting for a long layover? So to give a broad overview, especially in the US, 16 of the country's 20 largest airports have a chapel inside of them, as well as many else across the globe. So it started in the 1950s and 1960s by Catholic leaders. The original airport chapels were designed for staff members, not for passengers. The first one that was in the US is called Our Lady of the Airways. It's in Boston's Logan International Airport, and it was built in 1951. And again, it was very explicit that it was for workers and staff members, not for passengers. But then in the 1960s, the first Protestant chapel got built in the JFK International Airport. So it was called the JFK Protestant Chapel. And they also eventually added a synagogue. But so they had a Protestant chapel, a Catholic chapel, and a synagogue. But if you wanted to go to these, you had to go outside. And it just didn't work for anyone from a convenience standpoint. So they had to kind of get rid of it all and just find a different place inside JFK to make it work. So then the 1990s and the 2000s happened, and airport chapels were kind of a dying breed. And I've seen this now in a few other chapels where you're seeing more meditation rooms pop up instead. So, and it's being more inclusive of all different faiths and all different religions. So it's much more of a place and space for reflection and meditation, as opposed to the Protestant or Catholic views of faith. It's funny, I've never been a big flyer before, but after attending this chapel service at Midway, any other airport that I've gone to, I've proactively searched for chapels. So I got off a plane in LaGuardia not too long ago, and one of the very first signs that I saw was for a chapel. So I went down this small hallway, and it was just closed doors. So I'm guessing maybe they hold services in a conference room. I don't know for sure. I also was at San Francisco's International Airport, and I came across a Christian Science reading room. That was interesting to see because Christian Science right now does not have a far reach. And then I've also been in some other airports where I've seen meditation rooms. I've never gone inside, so I can't comment if there's any type of religious imagery or not. But just, it makes me wonder what else is out there as you're traveling through the skies. I would love to hear your comments below. Looking into these airport chapels, I think it reveals an interesting approach, especially in the United States. Whereas before you had these chapels being built by Catholics and Protestants, now you're seeing this shift, and with the meditation rooms and the reflection rooms. And it makes me wonder what that says about the American approach to religion and spirituality. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but it's just a little bit different to kind of bring everyone in so no one feels excluded. And that may obviously just be based off the city where their airport is. But yeah, if you're traveling, you need to take some time to yourself during a layover. Some of these chapels or meditation rooms, they can give you a space to just pray, to meditate or reflect, to help reduce some stress if you're in the hustle bustle of any type of airport. Tell you what, we're going to wrap it up on that. Hope you enjoyed this very brief look into airport chapels. As always, make sure to like and subscribe to stay tuned for our future videos. But until next time, hope you have a good one.